Hello! Welcome along, everyone. Oh yeah, you know what time it is. Time for a new generation of Formula Pals. New season, new car, some new faces, some old faces. Should be a good one. We're here at Istanbul Park in Turkey, or Turkey. You want to be up with current events. Oh man, I've been rushing around a bit, so excuse me if I'm out of breath. Oh. So yeah, as I said, Istanbul Park kicking off an Asian series here for the new generation of Formula Pals. Think of it a little bit as a, I don't know, Formula 5, Formula 4.5? I'm not too sure. Quite low power, quite a bit of downforce. Very difficult to drive actually, especially at this track. Had a few practice laps with some of the guys yesterday, and what struck me most is under braking. You have to be so careful. It really demands precision, so it's really gonna challenge the drivers to the absolute limit this weekend. Should be good. So here we are. Let's check out some stuff, shall we? Got 15 minutes left of practice. Oh, thanks. I know I'm in the ACC channel because I couldn't find the commentary booth for some reason. No idea where it went. But, oh well, it doesn't really matter. I don't need to be in a particular place. But, yeah, let's check some stuff out. There you go, Formula Pals Championship. Here we go. Got a pretty packed grid today. I think 18 cars or so, maybe 20. Still got 15 minutes for people to join if the mad people want to just dash in straight in quali. We'll go for it. But check out some cool things, shall we? Uh-oh. That's why. Here we go. Still getting used to this, sorry. But here we are. Istanbul Park, 14 turns of absolute mayhem. Turn 1's going to be really interesting. The camber likes to throw you out of the corner and it's quite blind, and there's only not, it looks wide, but it's not as wide as you might think. Turn 2 is really a nothing corner. 3, 4 and 5 will definitely test those braking points, and trying to carry the momentum through 3 is going to be crucial. I think we'll see a lot of battles through that complex. Turn 7, nobody likes turn 7, but everybody loves turn 8, 5 apexes of chaos. Really, really difficult to get right in this car. I hope we see some cool stuff. Here's the entry to turn 8. Really hard to be smooth through there. You want to be flat, but you just can't get it. This dude can take my job. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. And then we've got the run down to turn 9 and 10. Heavy downhill braking zone. I think we'll see a lot of late dives into there. 11 again is a nothing corner, and then that final complex of 12, 13, 14 is surely going to throw some drama up. Should be pretty interesting through the end part of the lap. And yeah, this is going to be a great quali track, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what a lot of the drivers can do for us this afternoon. Quick rundown of the race format for the Formula Pals races. Practice, 60 minutes, so we're coming up to the end of that right now. So they'll have an hour to get used to everything. A lot of drivers have been putting in quite a bit of practice on the lead up to this Sunday. 20-minute qualifying, it's kind of long actually, especially when you're looking at a sub 2-minute lap. That's plenty of opportunity to try and get your best through. We'll have a 45-minute race plus 1 lap, so as soon as the timer reaches 0, next time you cross the line is when the race will end. Pit stops are allowed, and they will be utilized this time around, I think. Tires do like to drop off really quickly. You can drive them once they've come down a little bit, But it is difficult, and really you're only getting the absolute maximum out of the tire for the first maybe 5 laps or so. So yeah, expect to see some pit stops, especially halfway through the race, I would imagine. Fuel as well. I know these cars don't take a huge amount of fuel, so I think we'll see fuel and tires on the pit stop around halfway through the race. Drive-through penalties for jumping the start. That's officially confirmed. We won't have any confusion like we did at the beginning of last season. But anyone who does jump the light at the beginning of the race will have to serve a drive-through penalty. And then do remember that points are counted for the teams just like a Constructors' Championship in F1. So we'll see how that stacks up at the end of the season, but I'm also interested to see how much performance from drivers last season have carried over to this year. Speaking of points, let's get a quick rundown and maybe a new camera angle. Yeah. The championship points for finishing first, 30 points, 26, 23 for P3, and then the gap decreases from 4th down to 6th, 21, 19, 17. And then from 7th all the way down to 22nd, it's just 1 point per row. 23rd and 24th will receive no points for the race. I'm not even sure if we have 23 cars, so everybody should score points today. And the worst result from the season is dropped. So keep in mind, if anybody has a DNF or a DNS, that race won't be counted towards the final championship. Take a look around. Oh, he's in the pits. Never mind. Here's Mill. Current fastest time of a 1:49.1. That is indeed quite rapid, shall we say. Looking good, resplendent in orange as normal. I will give you one hint as to where this team is from. Oh! I did not cause that, he did that on his own. His teammate, Jort, back again for another season. These two, I'm pretty sure they won the Constructors last year. Milt definitely won the Drivers' Championship. I think Milt is definitely the one to beat. So they are the Penguin Virtuosos team. Again, the ones to beat for sure, I think. Other familiar faces? Bench? Messing around in the pit a little. That's Team Bologna? Have to double check, but that's a new pairing actually. So Sench and who's with him? Was it wasn't Cookie, because it was Cookie who he's normally driving along with. Cookie running a nice Red Bull inspired livery. I think that's actually the default livery. It is. Number 1 though. I don't know why people are voting to kick him, but we're gonna say no. So last 7 minutes or so of practice, so I'm sure people are dying to get laps in right now. Looks like all 20 drivers are here. That's right. Sanchez's teammate is James Andrews. Very competent ACC driver. I know he drives really well in AC as well, so I think that's a really good pairing, because these two actually drive together quite a lot. Should be a decent season for them. Other familiar faces: Aaron Fiedelack running with QP. No Bacon, because Bacon has moved abroad and is in the worst time zone possible, I think, for this race. The other QP driver is now actually Cookie. A lot of cars on the track, really busy. Lots of cars there. I'm sure the tow is actually pretty strong here. Going for it. A nice move down the inside, I think, there for Cookie. Robin Moe makes his AC debut. Running in the Formula Motorsports team. Get it? And who's he alongside? Really should have had this figured out before I jumped on, but oh well. More cars in the team. A new BMW inspired team. Both in the pits right now. The Indian bus driver's livery, I do quite enjoy. Very Force India inspired. Let's hope they don't crash and burn and turn pink next season. Automated Luxury makes his return to our AC series. He's with Scuderia Snail alongside is it Cheba? I'm not sure. Oh, there it is. It is Cheba. Yeah. Get a look at some of this warm-up action while I try and figure some stuff out. Only 4 minutes left of practice. Husky, who's hanging in the chat, is back. Hey ho, let's go. Another default livery for those guys. Maybe next week we'll see a complete decked out grid. Trash is here, making his league debut. Oh yes. I like it. I like those sponsors. Liquid Death is good too. But he's in the pits. Everybody I want to look at is in the pits. Oh, you can just hear him feathering the throttle through there. So we've got the top 5 cars right now, all within 1 second of each other. Only 6/100ths of a second separating the top 2. Mr. President makes his AC League debut alongside Gons with the Indian bus drivers team. That should be a good pairing. I wonder if Gons is going to start from the pits this season, or if he's going to actually qualify. Milan K with M Racing, that's another new team this season. Nicely thought out livery. Actually, I quite like the simplicity of that. I like the carbon look. Looking good. That's right, Michael Randall is with Full Steam Racing alongside Trash. Maybe last lap here for Robin Moe. We'll have to see. I'm sure he'll want to try and close those 3/10ths up. Make it a little closer. Let's turn the virtual mirror off. That. Everybody throwing in PBs at the end of practice, that's good to see. Oh, a little loose there on the exit. That curb is quite brutal, actually. It's right on board, actually. Braking just after 100. See how the front end floats through that corner. He's gone a little wide on the curb. Curbs here do like to throw you around. They are quite aggressive, even though they don't look it. Touching a lot of the curbs is really hard. But here's where you want to carry as much momentum, straighten the wheel out as much as possible. Try and straight line the brake in. See how you just kind of have to nurse each corner around the corner. Nurse the car around each corner. Really be very gentle and progressive with the pedal inputs. Hard on the brakes there. Using all the track. It's a good line through there. And now here's the run down to 5 apexes of turn 8. We're throwing it in. You could just hear how gentle you have to be on the throttle. A little wide there, but that's okay. See how the front end isn't quite compliant through the off-camber corners. That's going to be really interesting in a racing situation. There's really a nothing corner. Big run down to 12, 13 and 14. To be so careful not to step the back end out here. Nice and smooth through there, a little bit wide, careful of the spin. Decent lap overall, and Mo does improve. A 49.2 for him, so that's going to put the top 3 really close together now. Seems like everybody is pretty close to like the next person, so looks like we might have a lot of different groups. A lot of different batches of cars coming through. And all racing at once. So, that's practice over. So Milt leading the charge with a 49.1. I wonder if people are going to hit 48s in quali. I know it should be possible with a good old tow down the straight, which there are 3 giant straights that you can get a tow on, so timing it isn't necessarily going to be difficult. It's just a matter of it's going to orchestrate themselves such a way. I'm sure the drivers are figuring out last little setup tweaks. Wonder how many people are going to have a I wonder how many people are going to have a separate race setup from a quali setup, or if you're just like me and every setup's a quali setup and a race setup, one setup for everything. That's right. I needed to see who was driving. Hey, it's my car. The cursed livery. Oh, there you go. The Gentleman's Society of Goatee Feet Appreciators. An actual cursed livery. Very striking. You can't miss him on the track. The size of that tail light. Good grief, man. I suppose I've never actually seen the car from the back that I've actually concentrated on. Okay. Hello, tower. Everybody diving out for quali pretty instantaneously. This is Frederick Schublem, or Cheba as he's known. He's been racing for us for a long time. I'm excited to see what he can do in these cars. Very good driver, very respectful racer as well. So I know everybody's kind of rooting for him because he's such a nice guy. Busy track already. You can see everybody's only 11 cars out I can see so far, but everybody's come out in all one big group. Maybe trying to get that banker in early. Can I turn myself up? Sure thing. How's that? That might be a little better. Car cameras are decent. I do like them. I can also change them, so it's not the worst thing. So, like, Cheba here is about to start his first flying lap. You gonna back up a little, or is he gonna try and steal some toe down the straight? Let's ride on board for this lap. See what he can bang in. Feeding it in nicely there. Car head goes wide. Maybe he just didn't like that corner, or didn't like that lap as soon as it begun. We were saying how a lot of the lap time here is in turn 1 because you can take a lot of speed through it, but it just takes so much effort. On F1 you have a T-cam. Pretty sure there's a T-cam here. I like this though. You can see what's behind you too, which is really cool. Gently does it. Back on the power well. Rear end likes to step out there. Oh. On F1, as in the button F1. Gotcha. No, I know. I'm trying to get artistic. So we're doing some alternate angles today. These cars don't have DRS, in case you were just wondering, as we pass the DRS sign for the F1 layout. Ooh, a little wide there, but he'll bring it back around. Chundering through there. A little wide, so hard to get that complex of corners right. So a 152.7 for Cheba. Michael behind does a 154. And Robin Moe straight into the 49s. It's pretty good lap time there. 49.5, not as fast as we've seen in practice, but I'm sure traffic ahead may have slowed him down. Cookie's gone into P2 for now. 2/10 off. I don't know why this isn't working. The timer only works on relative in quali for some reason. Automate Luxury putting in a 53.7. It'll put him in P7. James Andrews actually currently in 3rd. I do expect to see a lot of people only putting in a couple of fast laps before heading back into the pits. As I said earlier, the tires drop off so quickly. But maybe we'll see just little 2-lap bursts of action before everybody dives back into the pits to get new tyres. Cookie up to P3. Why you no-show times? There you go. The Milt with a 49.3. Even Balats goes into second with a 49.5. Little wide through there. Who else is around? Nathaniel Faltz Rochelo. I think that's how you pronounce it. Just started a lap. Maybe he can get down to the sub 51s. Top 8 seems to be in the 50s. Oh, it looks like he's going to give that lap up. Ooh, a little bit on the grass there for one of those Go-Tifi cars. Robin Moe currently on a quick one. There's your T-Cam Husky. Got a lot of traffic to deal with ahead of him. Another PB by Jort there, a 157, so lots of people getting into the 50s. Seems to be, 49s seem to be where the big boys, the fast ones, are hanging out. So a lot of traffic to deal with from Mo on this last complex of corners. Oh, back end stepping out a little bit there, maybe a bit zealous on the throttle. I think that's valid. And he doesn't improve with that one. Mr. President on his outlap. See if he can close the gap to Milt. These two were kind of going at it in practice, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a good old quali battle from them as well. Slowing up maybe? Wants to get a good gap ahead of him. Maybe just nail the exit on this corner. Like he took turn 1 really well there. Very smooth inputs there. Very composed, it looks like, from Mr. Balats. He's currently just under 200th of a second up on his previous lap time. He needs to find another 4/10 if he does want to beat Milt. There's so many places to overtake on this track. I don't think quali will be as important as I'm making it out to be. Just touching the limiter there into 6th gear. Machine gun downshift. Goes slightly wide of that first apex, and that may have compromised the rest of his lap just a little bit. Little bit of traffic out of the way for him. Let's see if the cars ahead are smart. Very respectful there from the BMW driver to let him go. Nails the last corner, and that's a really good exit, so we'll see if he can improve, close the gap to Milt. He does! Wow, actually beats Milt by almost 2/10. And he'll go straight for another one. Maybe Milt in the pits just waiting for that to happen. Maybe a bit of track evolution towards that. Really impressive time. I really hope people can get into the 48s. I think that would be really cool to see. I think low 49s is super impressive as it is. You can just see now Robin Moe almost a second and a half worse off than his best lap. Don't want to throw that one away, I think. Cookie now also going through turn 8. He's doing really well in 5th place right now. I'm sure he'll like to get a little bit higher up. If I recall correctly, Cookie won the pre-season race down at Imola, which is, I wouldn't say a similar track to this, but there's a big long straight. There's some tight corners. It's kind of the same, not really. But I'm sure he'll be confident after the win in pre-season. Looking to finish this lap off really tidily. Everybody's doing a really good job at managing the faster cars behind them. Kudos to everyone. Cookie up into P3. He's also into the 49s, mid 49s. So yeah, I think the track might be ramping up just a little bit. We see one of the Bologna cars head out. It's the BMW driver of Massiege. I'm sorry if I butchered that. It looked like he was unable to improve his lap time, so he'll dart back into the pits for a new set of boots. Cheba on a lap, I know he'll be wanting to slip himself up the grid a little bit further. Only 7 minutes left of qualifying. Not a lot of time. Oh, dipping onto the grass there, that will surely hurt his lap. Excellent entry into there, got the downshift really right, skipped over the curb a little bit. You don't want to do that as it will just push the car out wide. Got that right. A little late on the power, but overall I think that was a pretty good final sector. And he won't improve, unfortunately. Robin Moe finishing up his lap right now. Looks like he's almost 3/10 up on his lap time. Everybody making full use of that exit curb on turn 14. The 49.5 from Robin Moe stay into 4th position. And you just saw a classic example there of the front end washing out on turn 1, so let's hope that doesn't happen in the race. Otherwise, you're going to crash into someone. Yo, how's the session shaking out? It's going really well, actually. I think some track evolution is happening. Lots of people are putting in some really fast laps. Got 6 people all in the 49s, which is incredible. A couple of people very close to the high 48s, which I think is certified alien time. James Andrews almost a second down on his lap time currently. Lots of people on outlaps, as you see. Swings it wide a little bit. Hit the apex well there. And electing not to skip over the curb. It can be slippery. Avagander with automated luxury currently through turn 8. 8/10 up on his best time right now. Nicely done through there as he bolts down the straight into this corner, if you will. It's a corner that you upshift through, so therefore it's not a corner. Debate me? Lovely crackle on the overrun there from the exhaust. Excellent line through there, on the power nice and early. And this will surely bump him up the standings. No! Interesting. So a large gap there from P12 and 13. Almost 3/10. Top 8 almost now into the 49s. Oh, must have just missed something. I think he was up on a lap there. Milt's got some traffic to deal with. One of the full steam cars there. Looks like he's just gonna maybe give himself a little bit of a gap to work with. It's getting down to last chance saloon for these drivers to put in a better lap time than they already have. I know James will be desperate to get into the 49s after only missing out by 7/100ths of a second. One of the Gotifi cars there, taking a really wide line. Michael Randall for Full Steam Racing. Up into P5. Milt taking his time with that lap. Got Sebastian Fiedelac. Any relation to Aaron? I think so. I'm sure the chat will tell me. But registered as a lone wolf, so no affiliation to a team, but he might have an affiliation to one this weekend. Not 100% sure. Just finishing up a lap right now. Currently in P10, which is still a decent amount of points for finishing the race in P10. He'll actually bump himself up to P9, overtaking Aaron. Let's have a look in with Mr. President entering turn 8. Full throttle really early through that corner. Looks like he nailed that. It'll give him a ton of speed down towards turn 9 and 10. You want to straight line the acceleration over that curb. If you're turning while you hit that curb and accelerating, it will just spin you around. So maybe we'll see some drivers placing other drivers on there as they go through their side by side, which could happen. I think will happen. Fastest downshift in the West. Hooks up the car nicely. Good line through there. I don't think this is going to be enough to improve on his time. It is not. And these drivers not having very long now to cross the line. I think Milt's over it. Yep. Not going to be able to get another lap in. Robin Moe up into P3 with a 49.4. And I think Cookie's just put in a really good sector time as well. Let's see if he can make the most of that as he goes down towards... Is that 12? Yeah. That's it. That's quali over. So these last laps will count if they've already crossed the line. See if Cookie can improve. He does. Wow. P2 with a 1:49.2, right at the death. Cookie makes the magic happen, puts himself up into P2. Robin Moe has given up. I think that's it. James Andrews is on an outlap. But he did not make the flag in time, it seems. So that's the grid set then for 45 minutes of chaos. Hopefully not, but it will be good. Even Barat, your pole sitter, with a time of 1:49.1. P2 at the death was Suicidal Cookie, 49.2, and Milt rounding out the top 3 with a 49.3. Top 7 cars all in the 49, so that's going to be really interesting. James Andrews also may as well be in the 49s. It's only 700ths of a second. But Robin Moe in P4. Massier. Again, apologies. For the BMW team in P5. Michael Randall, P6. Senna Stoffmeal, he's the other driver for the BMW. In P7, James Andrews, P8, Sebastian Fiedlak, P9, and Aaron Fiedlak in P10. Jordan, P11. Nathaniel, P12, Automated Luxury, P13. 14th, Sench. Frederick Shublum, 15th. Milan K in 16th. Alex Mohajeri in 17th. Trash in 18th. And we probably do have more cars. Let me fix. Oh, we just do have 18 cars. Fair enough. Rid of that. Should be a good race. I'm really looking forward to this. The start's going to be crazy. Drivers are being reminded that jumping the gun at the beginning of the race will net them with a drive-through penalty. Something you don't want to do. I think that is basically race over. This should just be a one-stop race for pretty much everyone. There is only one compound of tyre as well. Go have a look. Whoops. Everybody raring to go. Ivan Badat's on pole again. Milt in P3. And Cookie P2. Oh, race is about to start already. Ah! Here we go then. A new generation of Formula Pals starts right here, right now. It's 6 lights. 0 lights. Let's go. 44 minutes left. Everybody jostling. Bologna car there, diving to the inside. And Cookie's beaten Balats to turn 1. Very, very impressive. And a yellow flag. That's a little bit of chaos at the back. Not quite sure. I looked away for 1 second there. Balats now defending hard from Suicidal Cookie. Robin Moe has made it up into P3 and Milt slipped down to P4. Milt slipping down to P5 as Massier goes up on the inside of what looked like turn 4, I think. And Ivan Balats making the most of the battles happening behind. Massier looking right at the tailpipes of, Cookie looking right at the tailpipes of Mr. President there as he looks around the outside at turn 8. That would be ambitious. Let's see who can get the better exit. Sparks flying everywhere. Cookie staying really close. We've got a yellow flag somewhere. And now the dive down. Robin Moe right behind Cookie, as I think Cookie may have been slowed down from the dirty air a little bit. And we've seen a lot of shake-up behind as this battle for the lead rages on. Cookie going a little bit wide there. Jumping over the curb, and that's definitely going to slow him down. Robin Moe going to take the inside here at turn 11. See how close these cars are. Very late on the brakes, gets it stopped just in time, just to not to cause mayhem. And he'll have the inside for the last corner, so nicely played by him. I think Robin Moe may have to slot in behind, but that will allow Badat to kind of run away with it. Got a big group here right behind, and that's Robin Moe going up the inside at turn 1. Using the track as he sees fit. Cookie pushed a little wide there. And you see now just Ivan Badat's moving further and further away as there's contact behind. It looked like Stoffmeal kind of barging his way through there. I didn't quite see what was going on. But furious battle here for P2. Lots and lots of action to try and keep up with here. Got a lot of action going on further down the pack too. Gons and Milan battling there through what looks like... Oh, we've got a car off! Is that Sench? It was Sench. He's trying to get it turned around. Have to see... If only there was replays for this, but it still looks like Gons and Milan going at it through turn 8 on the run down to turn 10. Perpetual yellow flag down here. I think this may be where Sench was located. And now Milan under pressure from Trash and Automated Luxury behind. Still more yellow flags as we go around. Track may be bugged, but you see those two right there go side by side. Automated Luxury is going to throw it down the inside. Not quite. Thinks twice. Oh, and very close there, and gets the curb. That will spin him around a little bit, but it looks like he's getting ready for a nice exit out of the last corner. Milt! What happened to Milt? I leave the pole battle for 1 second. And Milt's all the way down in P16. Oh, and that, oh, Milt. I think he may have damage for some reason. That car pulled aside and he couldn't see what was ahead. That BMW car just appeared. This is the battle for P3 still happening. It's a Cookie on the back of Massier. Through turn 8 they go. Trying to be precise, but also trying to be as quick as possible. Not a corner where you want to mess things up. Odd on the brakes. Looks like Cookie gets a really good exit out of there. Might be a little far back to get the slipstream, but the slipstream here is insane. Riding the limiter a bit there, that's okay. And now you see the power of the slip. Last on the brakes, down into 10. Oh, so close! Massier takes it back up the inside. Cookie cuts back, and again, gonna focus on the exit. And they are nose to tail. Cookie keeps the inside well. They're still side by side. Cookie looks like he is pulling away from the car behind, but this will slow him down. He's in a BMW sandwich. He's going to move to the inside. Is he going to lick the stamp? Send it around the outside. Very close, but he's going to let Stoffmeal behind. Oh, it looked like he Stoffmeal might have gotten through to the inside just then. Through turn 8 they go again. Stoffmeal looking around the outside, which would be audacious. And again, another run down to turn 10. Will Cookie look to the inside at the last minute? No. He's gonna tuck behind. I think he wants to slip for the last long straight here. Would not be surprised to see a move into turn 11 at the bottom of the hill. Very close there. He around the outside looking. He's going to get the next corners inside. Gets turned in on a little bit there by the BMW. Little bit of wheel bashing going through, and there's a car in the middle of the road. Oh my goodness, that's Robin Moe. He must have lost it on the last corner. And that's a shame because that's now dumped him down and probably into P8 or so, P7. Maybe even more damage than that. Milt is making moves at the back of the field. He's already back up to 12th. Fourth is... oh, it's chaos at the last corner. It's chaos at the last corner. Milt up into P12. I think Milan may have lost it on that last corner too. I think everybody's fighting some damage. Oh, that car ahead getting really loose. Milt has to take avertive action. And I think he'll be unleashed now onto the back of Gons in a couple seconds up the road. Oh, and taken out from behind. I think that might have been one of the full steam cars. That was surely interesting. I'm sure the post-race stewards will have something to say about that at the end of the race. Meanwhile, Sebastian Fiedelack battling currently with Frederick Schublem and Robin Moe on his recovery drive, not too far behind. These guys are side by side. He's last on the brakes is Robin Moe. I'll get that move done nicely. Very loose on the exit. As I said, he took that curb and the car just spun. That will allow Frederick Schublem to attack back. He will get the inside at the nothing corner, which is not always the best because if you are in a drag race like this, you do have the outside of the next corner. So wouldn't be surprised to see Robin Moe get this one back. He does. See Schublem right behind, and I think that's that Jort behind him. Oh, he's taken the curb and lost it. Everybody will make up positions. I'm not sure if there was contact or if he just hit the curb too aggressively there. Milt in P13. There's yellow flags everywhere. I thought the track was bugged, but it's not. It's just there is actually yellow flags all of the time. Doesn't look like he has wheel damage. I'm sure he can continue that recovery drive. It seems almost everybody is in a recovery drive right now. This battle for P3 still going on with Cookie and Massier from the BMW team as they both head into turn 8 quite close to each other. Cookie there just creeping up to the back of him. He'll have some good slipstream on the way down. Moves to the inside early. Can he be last on the brakes? Oh, a little bit of contact. He's been turned in on. Getting squoze there. That's an interesting tactic. You do have to leave a space all the time. These guys have been side by side for a really, really long time, it seems. Cookie covers off the inside. Massier gets a whole lot more momentum through the corner, and there's contact. Massier is just around. I think Cookie may have tapped into the back of him. It looked like it could have been a racing incident. Frederick Schublum's made his way up to 6th, maybe, or is the timer tower bugging out? Yeah, I was gonna say, it is bugging out. So Ivan Barat's whole 5.7 second lead right now. Quite dominant display. Could go for the Grand Slam this event. Be a great introduction for the Indian bus drivers team. Take a win on their first outing. Meanwhile, we've got another little pack a little further back. Gons leading Robin Moe and Milt to the other Force India car. Indian bus drivers, Force India. I'm going to say that all the time now. But under pressure, as it looked like Robin Moe made the move on Milt. Through turn 8. Oh, never mind, not turn 8. I thought that was turn 8. On the way down to turn 7 they go. Milt around the outside makes that move work really nicely. Carries a lot of momentum through that corner. And Gons staying calm under the pressure. He'll be looking at his relative and just knowing that Milt and Robin Moe will catch up ever so slowly. You can see them just edging closer together. Looks like a lot of the rest of the race has kind of settled down. And Milt right on the back of Gons now. Robin Moe has taken his pit stop. So he's the first to pit stop that I've seen. Gons holds the inside really nicely there. Gets a good exit. I don't think Milt wants to cause any damage or cause any issues with anybody right now, seeing as he's been so busy, shall we say. Gone up the inside through 4. But Gons has the inside for the next corner, and they both go wide. And that'll give him the corner, the inside of the corner on the long run down to turn 7. And Milt does finally get past. Meanwhile, a little just further back, we've got Husky, Trash Dameron, and Automated Luxury all battling it out. Automated Luxury right on the back of Trash as they make their way down to turn 8. Always a good idea to just maybe hold off through here. And maybe try and get the slip on the run down to turn 10 here. Or turn 9, I should say. Husky bleeding a little bit of time to these guys ever so slowly. Trash moving to the outside. Husky will cover the inside quite nicely again. Goes a little bit deep. He's got it back hooked up for the second to last corner. And it's all about the exit here as they make their way down the start-finish straight. Oh, I thought I saw that. Oh, somebody's lost it into the pit lane. Is that James Andrews? No, it's Sedge. Okay. Sedge lost it into the pit lane just as we were viewing Trash getting himself upright. Here's a battle for P7. That's Frederick Schublem leading Aaron Fiedlak. Through turn 7 they go. Into turn 9, almost on top of each other. Aaron's going to try and get a good exit, I think. Cuts the curb a little, and that throws him out, and he'll lose a bunch of time now. Schublem maybe just getting released now to head up the field. Looks like we are maybe getting some tire issues. As people will start to slide all over the place, so I'm sure we'll see some pit stops soon. Sench in the pits, as we know, as he entered so gracefully a couple of laps earlier. Meanwhile, there's that battle for P7 still happening through the final complex of corners. Last corner, and that's Schublem now leading down into turn 1. Still no pit stops from these guys. I do wonder how good the overcut is or the undercut is here, because new tires mean a lot. These tires don't last very long, so I think the overcut could definitely work. Milt in the pits currently. Gons flies past. And we've got another battle here. This Husky on automated luxury. Luxury is going to have the inside a little deep. Husky able to carry a little bit more momentum through there, and he'll have the inside through this uphill sweeper down up into turn 4, turn 3, whichever one this is. Side by side they go through, but Husky will have the inside. But again, the outside getting a bit more momentum for Luxury, but he does go a bit wide. And then the same with Husky at the next corner, and that will let Luxury through. Oh, he chokes on the curb just a little bit as he goes through the transparent P0 sign. I think he threw on the brakes because he's in VR, so I think he threw on the brakes because he thought he was going to hit it. Because I don't think he needed to brake there. Oh wow. Whoops. Aaron Fiedlak still on the back of Schublem, but the gap is widening just a little bit. 26 minutes to go, so approaching the halfway point here. So I expect to see a lot more pit stops happening. Massier's in the pits as well, just gone in this lap. And so I wonder where he'll come out. The field not as spread out as I thought it would have been at this stage in the race, but once the pit stops are done, we'll see the kind of true order of things. Badat's now 6.7 seconds is the gap of his lead, looking quite comfortable still. Makes his way into turn 8. Still got yellow flag somewhere. Gons makes his pit stop. Luxury now has dropped right off the back of Husky ahead of him. And Frederick Schublem and Aaron Fiedlak still battling. Looks like Michael Randall just in the background there, so he'll want these two to fight to slow them up so he can catch up to them. I think either of these guys have made their pit stop yet. There's been too much chaos to keep up with. Aaron now catching up quite nicely to the back of Schublem. Is he going to try and make a move on the inside? Don't show me that camera. Show me this one. He does. He makes the move stick really nicely. Classic move there into turn 11 or 12 or whichever one it is. But as I said, Michael Randall has caught up just a little bit, putting in a faster lap time as well than both Frederick Schoblum and Aaron. He's caught up. Maybe, I think he caught up about a second that lap. A little wiggle from the front there as he brakes into that corner. Oh, almost right on the back of Frederick Schoblum. Wonder if he'll try and make a move down now into turn 7 as they make the long hill down. Milt's just put in a 150.7. So his pit stop obviously helping out with lower fuel and new tyres. Get to see kind of the objective pace of him. Michael Randall now looking at the outside at turn 8 on Frederick Schoblum. All of these guys staying pretty close together. And he'll have a really good run down, it seems. Gonna look to the inside down at turn 9. A little later on the brakes, and he does make that move stick. Gets a good exit too, and he'll be unleashed onto the back of Aaron. No, Schoblum will not want to let that down, but I do wonder if any of these guys are going to pit soon, because as far as I'm aware, they haven't. There you go, Aaron into the pits then. That will leave Michael Randall and Frederick Schoblum out to battle. Although the gap has kind of grown a little bit in that half lap or so. Oops. Husky into the pits, as well as automated luxury, so this will be a pit stop battle then. Then overtake into the pit line, pit lane. That was pretty good. I enjoyed seeing that, thank you. Milt still on his recovery drive, up into P11. And that's a lot of points lost for Milt this round. He was up in the top 4 at the beginning, top 5, and then yeah, something happened to him, and he's no longer up there. So, Mr. President, who I think still hasn't pitted, riding it out nicely, putting in a 151.3 that lap. And Stoff Meal, who's in P2, is now into the pits as well. So I would expect Ivan Barats to react to that. Meanwhile, we've got a battle for P15 between Jort and Trash Dameron. James Andrews also into the pits as well. Jort's going to look up the inside at turn 7. I think Trash may have had just a bit more momentum coming out of the corner, and he'll hold the inside. Will we see that outside move around turn 8? No. Like Jort knew better and backed out just a little bit. Frederick Schoblum is making his pit stop as we speak. Jort now right on the back of Trash. And he will definitely have some good slipstream up the hill, over the crest, and down towards turn 12. Side by side, they'll enter the braking zone. Who's going to brake first? Look like Trash just got earlier on the brakes, and Jort will make swift work of that move. And he'll pull out ahead, chase down Husky in the position ahead. So there we go, your race leader into the pits with 20 minutes to go. Going long may not have been the worst strategy idea. That will leave Cookie to come into the pits behind. And that will leave the BMW car to take the lead, so it'll be interesting to see where he comes out. You can see him now just making his way around the last corner. So he'll need a pretty stonking lap right now if he wants to get out ahead of Even Barats, which I can't see happening, but I can be proven wrong. Mill up into P10, only 1.5 seconds back from Cheba. And he's taken half a second out in just the time that we've been following him. They make their way down the start-finish straight into turn 1. Milt putting in a all-time, not all-time best, but best of the session with a 150.4. They're showing good pace. We'll have to see where they end up, as Even Barats has gotten out of the pits quite a way ahead of Stoffmeal. The lead's only been cut by 2 seconds, but I think that's fine. Still looking really comfortable up there in the lead. Timing is being weird again. And Milkgel passed Shoblum just as I was trying to find a different battle. Oh, Shoblum looking around the outside again. And looks like Milk got just a slightly better exit out of turn 8. It's the apex nicely there. And yeah, he's kind of pulling out already after just a couple of corners. See Massier chasing down Michael Randall. So it'd be Michael Randall's, well, both of these guys' first AC race with us, so I think they've done a really, really good job kind of showing where their true pace is. 5th and 4th on your first outing, not bad at all. And Massier is gonna look up the inside, maybe? No. I think he wants the slip on the straight down into turn 7. Oh, as Michael Randall gets just a little bit loose there. Has to give up the position to the car on the inside. Nicely done by Massier there, making the most of Randall's mistake. Meanwhile, a little bit further back. Is Husky in the pits? No. Weird. Back to this battle. The timing app is a pain, to say the least. Yeah, Michael's kind of just bleeding time now behind Massier. You can see the gap getting bigger and bigger. But he has a nice cushion to the car behind, which is James Andrews, so holding on to 5th shouldn't be too tall an order. Mill up into P8. Engine issues, or maybe he was grabbing a drink and couldn't shift. Interesting engine technique there, riding the limiter down the straight. Still yellow flags. Maybe the track is bugged then. Meanwhile, oh, somebody wide there. That's one of the team is that again? M Racing, that's right. M Racing. That's one of the M Racing cars going a little bit wide through turn 7 there. Looked like they were battling for a second, but they weren't. So even Barat's still with a 5-second lead just to the car ahead with 13 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Race is kind of evened out a little bit now, especially after the pit stops. So only the drivers that are further back, such as Milt and Robin Moe, I'm sure those guys are going to move up the field even more, even with such limited time. Should have a they should have a drive, I would say. I don't think they want to be where they are right now. But Milt has actually caught up to the back of Aaron Fiedlach. Oh, he hasn't. My timing table is destroyed. Doing all sorts of weird stuff. But he hasn't. Cookie's held P3 quite nicely. You see Michael Randall entering the pit right now. And Milan leaving the pit. It's the M Racing livery I was talking about earlier. I'm sure now that will allow Milt up into P7. Still not taking a huge amount of time out of Aaron for every lap, so maybe Aaron can hold P6. Does have 5 seconds to give, so let's hope he doesn't give all of those. Meanwhile, Michael Randall's come out the pits with Frederick Shublem right behind. James Andrews currently battling with Massier. That's for P4. And looks like Husky's just been passed by the other Pinguino car of Jort. Through 3, 4, and 5, or 4, 5, and 6, whatever those corners are, down to, yeah, that's right, and then down to 7. James Andrews and Messier still battling quite close together. Oh! Wiggle of the front end over the curve for Messier. That's going to lose him a whole bunch of time. Meanwhile, further back. Oh, Jort's lost it around turn 8. Husky does a really good job of getting out of the way. Saved himself there, but Jort looks like the front end snapped on him. Maybe took a bit too much curb on the outside. He's lost 2 positions from that mistake. That's a shame. Husky now up into P14. Cookie still holding 3rd place. A nice gap either side of him. For a lot of these drivers, actually, nobody really too close together to make any differences. Aaron has lost a second to Milt behind, but with only 10 minutes or so left to go, I don't see Milt catching up unless he gets a move on yesterday. Robin Moe also on his recovery drive still 1.6 seconds behind Frederick Shublem, who we've seen these two battle before this race. We'll see if anybody can really get the hammer down with worn tyres and catch up to the car ahead. everybody kind of riding the limiter through there, so maybe it's just a me thing. You know, and I don't know anything, I don't know any better. Milt made it past Randall there, so must have had... Who was that? That was one of the Gotifi cars spun around on the final straight. But yeah, Milt up into P6. Marcier's lost a bunch of time and positions. I need to stop clicking around so much. Wow. So he'll look to gain those back pretty pronto. I don't know what happened. But Milt has got that hurry up. He's now up into P6. With Michael Randall trailing behind through turn 8. I'm sure Milt is desperate to maybe try and at least get 5th. He's only got 4 seconds to make up because the gap between James Andrews and Aaron Fiedelack has been a constant 10 seconds. And this little group here, Robin Moe leading Sebastian and Massier. Massier trailing off the back of this group. Still a battle raging between these two. Randall will have a good slipstream down into turn 1, but I don't think he was quite close enough at the beginning of the straight. Through turn 1, this lot go very loose there from Robin Moe, and that will let Bastian right up close to him as they enter. Oh, that's gonna be... Oh, that could have been so bad, but I saw what happened there. It looked like Robin Moe just turned in too early and maybe lost the front end of the car there. And Messier goes through into the middle of that group. More looseness from Robin Moe up front. These guys trying to cover everywhere. Robin Moe looks up the inside of Messier. That's not going to work as Sebastian goes through around the outside. These guys really close together as they go through 8. Not going to see any overtakes through these corners. Oh, and the curb kicking back there from Robin Moe, and he's around and into the barriers maybe. He's oh, not into the barriers, but that was a violent snap through the middle of turn 8 there. Sebastian will be right behind Messier as they head down towards the nothing corner. You see the suck working as he'll get the outside for 12, 13 or 14. Makes that move stick. Oh, they're very close, almost pirouetting Sebastian there was Messier. But he'll have the inside for the last corner. Cutback maybe. Oh, that's unfortunate. It looks like Messier came around the last corner and tried to squeeze too much. Couldn't see where the other car was behind. Meanwhile, further up ahead, the battle for P6 still going on. Randall right behind Milt, hanging on to the back of him really well, and they're really close now as they head down towards turn 7. Milt getting a slightly better exit, but the slipstream is going to reveal its power. Straight not quite long enough to make that happen. Oh, it looks... I did not see what happened there. But maybe the car on the outside I think that was Aaron. Milt didn't expect to see him, and so had to take evasive action and ended up getting hit. I'm sure the stewards are going to be really, really busy today after today's race. Milt back in P7 now, behind Shublum, and has another position to make up all over again. Got Mo on the back of Automated Luxury as they make their way through turn 8. Robin Mo having many an issue today's race. Milt round again. I'm not sure if that was contact or of his own volition, but only 3 minutes left, so I should imagine that the tyres pretty much don't exist at this point. Case in point. Oh my goodness, that was close. Okay. You got around okay. We'll go back to this battle now for P12. It's Robin Mo on the back of Automated Luxury. Luxury covering the inside, but it looks like Robin Mo setting himself up for a good exit and does get one. We'll have a really good run down into turn 1 here. Pulls inside, lets Luxury know he's there. Maybe a bit of contact there and just lost the front end going around the corner, but he needs to be careful turning around there in case there's any other cars. That will let Automated Luxury go free for P12. And I've missed what's happened at the top, but Ivan Badac is now... Oh, he's still in the lead. Good. Okay. So some people have taken 2 stops. Where was it? Some people have taken 2 stops. A couple of people taken 3 stops. I'm sure that's not what you actually wanted to do, though. But Ivan Badac with only 1 minute left to go. As he moves... Where is he here? Oh, he's at turn 7. So as he's going into turn 8, this could be... It's probably the second to last lap. It looked like Gons there got passed by Automated Luxury, or maybe it's just the timing not working still. But Cookie's round! Looks like it's at turn 6. Oh, turn 7, he's round, but such a big gap behind him where it didn't really affect him, and he'll stay in 3rd. Going into turn 8, still got plenty of time behind him. Got a nice little battle, final battle going on here with Aaron in P5, Frederick Shublum P6, Michael Randall P7. Good exit from Randall there through 7 and into 8. Will we see that outside move around 8 from him? Let's see him. We've seen it! Oh, and Shublum holds the inside nicely. We saw the attempt. It was attempted at least. Had he pulled that off, that would have been mighty impressive. And nose to tail. Here on the run down to the final complex of corners. Through nothing corner they come. Michael Randall taking the inside. But not always the most powerful as we've seen. Shublum now trying to keep close to him, but it's not going to happen. Randall goes a little bit deep through there. Shublum's going to try and catch up, maybe focus on the exit. And he's actually catching up to Aaron ahead. And he'll actually might get the toe from Aaron. Through into turn 1 they go. And Aaron now under pressure as we do enter the last lap of this race. This is the battle for P5, and there's three people who could take it. Really close to each other now as they head through. Oh, a little bit of a bump there, it seemed. It looked like Michael may have been on the brakes too early and got a tap from behind. That will let Shublum through into P6. Might have too much of a gap to catch up to the car ahead now. A couple of seconds. And there is Frederick Shublum crossing the line for his final lap. What a display. Pretty confident all event. Fastest time in practice, quali, and P1 in the race has led almost every lap, if not every lap. So I just want to go back to Milt, who's now only 8/10 behind Michael, so does have one final chance perhaps to make up one more position. Every point matters in this championship. Championships before have been decided by less than 3 points. So every point does count, and Milt will be wanting every last one of them. As these guys, I think, start their final lap. But Balat's now going through turn 8. Oh, and very loose was Milt there. Lost quite a lot of time to the car ahead, it seems. Because I think that's Robin Moe behind. A lap down. Yeah, that's Cinch right there. So it looks like Mr. President has lapped almost everybody in the field at some point. Mighty impressive. As we'll come and see Mr. Badats cross the line and take the win for round 1 of Formula Pals Season 3. Wiggle wiggle as he goes across. Senna Stoffmeal finishes second on his first outing with us here at Racing Pals. BMW FP team doing mighty well, getting a podium on their maiden outing. Cookie comes across to take P3, good for him. A very, very interesting race there as Robin Moe exits the servo. I hope the race actually finished for him, otherwise his points won't count. James Andrews taking an impressive P4. Not too far behind Cookie. What a race. Too much chaos and carnage to actually keep up with. And here comes Aaron finishing P5. And that's it. Oh, the server should have been updated a bit. Well, the overlap should have been increased a little bit, I think. But oh well. So there, your final race standings. Your winner, Ivan Badats. P2, Senstoff Meal. P3, Suicidal Cookie. James Andrews 4th. Aaron 5th. Frederick Schoblum 6th. I think it was Milt 7th. Bastian 8th. Massier 9th. Automated Luxury with an impressive 10th. And there's too much stuff. Anyway, let's get the winners in here. Let's get Mr. President up in here. I'm gonna just drag him in. Hello, Mr. President. I'll drag him back in. We'll get those guys back in a minute and then we'll have a word with him and find out just what happened at the beginning of the race. Because I would so love to see what actually did happen. One second. That was some great racing. I wish we could do. I wish we could do replays on AC, because that would have been pretty cool to see what happened just at the beginning there. Seeing if we can't get anybody in here to talk. Hello. Mr. President?
Hello, hello.
Oh, there you are. Hello.
Hello.
What a race, man.
Yeah, what a race.
It's
My hands are hurting.
I bet. Grand Slam, no? Fastest lap
No, I
in
didn't
quali?
get the fastest lap, but quali,
No.
yeah.
You did, okay. You did get the fastest lap in quali, but not in the race. Man,
Yeah.
the beginning was very stressful, but you held it together real
Yeah.
nice. What
I
happened?
was sweating in T1
Yeah.
when I saw Cookie trying to set it in.
Oh, yeah.
Then okay, I can just go a bit wider than him and smash the throttle
Yeah.
because he has a dip on T1 and I
Yeah.
have a smoother line. And then it was just like, well, maybe I can try make them fight together. Then I saw them fighting and I was like, okay, I'm not giving slipstream. I'm giving
Yeah.
slipstream to the slower guy and then just trying to pull away. I saw some of them had some incidents and basically a tire management the full race after that.
Yeah, you seemed to pit quite late compared to everybody else as well.
Well, I just tried to half it. I even pitted a lap earlier than I was expecting
Oh wow.
to
Okay.
pit, but yeah, the tires are just
Yeah,
yeah, that's all I can say.
they drop off pretty quickly, huh?
Yeah,
How many laps would you say you get the most out of the tire?
around fifth or sixth lap is where you start really losing grip in. Not even braking. The braking seems fine. It's more of like the apex speed because the tires just start sliding too much.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And putting power down, it looks to be pretty difficult in these cars as well.
Yeah, it's even with top shape tires, it's difficult. But
Yeah.
with destroyed tires, it's even worse. If you have even one little like spin where you catch it still, but it's like a big catch.
Yeah.
The tires are dead. You can maybe do 1 or 2 laps where they still give you something. After that, they're done completely.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, it seemed to be the case you saw right around before people pit stopping. Everybody was just losing it around pretty much at every corner.
Yeah, there were some slower cars in front of me where I was like, does he know I'm the leader or something? Then I try on the inside, he still doesn't give me the space.
Yeah.
He cuts in front of me and then spins, and I'm like, please don't turn on the line, please don't turn on the line. Managed to escape it.
Nice. Well, congratulations on a pretty dominant display.
Yeah,
You
thank
know.
you. It's the presidential super sub for the Indian bus drivers.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was good to see you out there, and great that you could put it on the top on the team's first outing. So I think that's going to be pretty cool to see for the rest of the season.
I would thank the team for giving me the confidence to even try to push it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad to see you on the top step, man, and
Yeah, thank you.
sure we'll see you for the next one.
We'll see. Depends how the team goes.
All right, man. Thanks a
But the
bunch.
super sub is here. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
there you go. Congrats again, man.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye
Yeah,
bye.
bye. I did not hear from P2. Drag Cookie in here, I think. Hold on. Ah. So our P2 sensed off meal has to work at 5 in the morning. So we'll go ahead and drag Cookie in here. But congrats to him. P2 on his first outing in a brand new team too. That's super impressive. Like a pretty composed race. So yeah, congrats to him. But with us, we do have P3, Suicidal Cookie.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's not too bad, man. I feel like I missed a lot of things in that race because there was just too much to keep up with.
Yeah, it looked like quite a busy race. A lot of stuff happening.
Yeah.
Like you said, the start of the race was definitely very busy for me. I was don't know how to say his name, Maciej Haila or Maestro.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
was having a lot of fun racing with him. He is one tough cookie.
Yeah.
If I could put it that way for the pun.
Yeah.
His defending is proper like Max Verstappen, squeeze you and then move away at the last
Yeah.
second. And you can send it deep around the outside.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hit him earlier on, which I do apologize for. And
Yeah.
then I waited, and then yeah, but that was a good race. The second half was a lot more tame. You were probably looking at other places on the stream.
Yeah, I was following you for a lot of the battle you had at the beginning of the race. They literally turned away from like the front of the grid for like, I don't know, 3 corners, and then the next thing my timing thing showed was like Milt down in P16, and I was like, no, I missed it, something's happened.
Yeah, I am still yet to figure out what that is. I've got the replay open in front of me, and I'll look in a minute, but I have no idea. Apparently it's like a Seb at Brazil moment where he's backwards and the grid's going past him.
Oh, yeah, I did see him. I did see him backwards at some point. But yeah, I kind of called it like the pit stops happened, and then the race just like settled down immediately. So yeah, the second half of the race was quite, like you said, much more tame than the beginning of the race. But how did you find the tires? I was speaking to Mr. President, and he was saying, you know, you get about 6 laps out of them before they start to really drop off.
I felt you could get a little bit more than that. Like well, I don't know. It depends what you mean at like laps. Like you can do fast laps, which are the scary ones. Then you got like that middle phase on the tire where it starts to wear, and then by the end phase there are corners that are easy flat, exits I should say, exits that are easy flat. For instance, turn 6 on Istanbul, where in second gear at the end of a stint you're actually like oversteering out of there.
Yeah.
But you kind of have to push it towards halfway, otherwise your second stint is going to be awful.
Yeah.
But it's not undrivable in my opinion. Like it's definitely more slidey, but you just got to be more patient. It's like driving like a Formula 1 car when they have normal tires where they're slidey at low speed.
Yeah.
Just later on in our stints.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because like everybody before the pit stops was just kind of spinning around in circles, it seemed. So the tire wear seems quite extreme, but it made things really interesting, especially with pit stops too. Some people even making like 2 pit stops.
Was the race interesting in terms of strategy?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't really see much strategy playing on just because I was trying to keep up with everything happening. But some people tried the overcut and it didn't seem to work. So maybe undercutting, especially at this track, is a bit more on the cards, shall we say?
Yeah, it's very hard. It's not exactly like wet weather running, but it's almost like wet weather running. And when you have to judge where the transfer point is, where you're like, is my next lap going to be quick enough that I'm not going to lose time? Or do I have to just throw it in the pits now and not lose position? But it very much felt like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting to watch everyone as well, just like dealing with losing positions. I mean, yourself not so much, but like it seems like almost everybody lost a bunch of positions at one point. So it was good to see everybody's like mental side of the race come in, try and like buckle
I guess I
down.
got lucky with that because I think on the second to last lap or something, I binned it coming out of T7.
Yeah,
Just
we saw that.
gassed it up too hard,
Yeah,
put it in the grass.
yeah, I saw that right as I saw your name pop up in yellow, and I was like, oh, that can't be good.
I probably just sat in the
But-
grass trying to get back.
Yeah,
It's
but
even slightly trying to get back on the circuit.
yeah, but you had such a big gap behind where it didn't really matter all that much. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and you bring it home in P3, so it's good to see a QP car on the podium again, even if it wasn't
Glad
an
to-
actual QP livery.
Yeah, we'll have those next week. Don't worry.
Nice. Well, next
that
next
was
fortnight. Yeah,
Yeah, not next week. Next fortnight for the next race. Let's put
Yeah.
it that way.
yeah, for sure.
Anyway, I trust the stream went well. All good.
Yeah, yeah, I think it
Nice,
went
nice.
okay. So, all right, man. Well, congrats again on the podium. Enjoy the champagne.
Thank you very much. I'll appreciate it.
All right, man.
Alright.
Take it easy.
Peace out.
Bye. All right, that's it. First round of Formula Pal Season 3 done. Dunzo. It was wild. I wish I could have caught up with more. It's so hard to do when you've got so much going on at one time. I'm super looking forward to the next round, which is... I can't remember off the top of my head. Let's find it real quick. Calendar, that's right, it's Baku. How apt. The next race at Baku, so that's a bit of a different track to this one. Just a little. Anyway, next time we're at Baku, but at the end of the month, we've got a special 1,000 member Discord 1,000 member race. The 500 miles of Nürburgring. That should be good. So that's ACC. Should be about 5.5 hours or so race time, and it's GT3 and TCX in the rain. If you haven't driven those TCX cars, I hear they're very fun, especially in the wet. I'm looking forward to seeing some great screen differences. Speed differences, sorry, between the two classes. So that should be good. Join us for that. It is a real sexy poster. Can thank James Andrews for that one, actually. Anyway, till next time, this has been Racing Pals with Formula Pals Season 3!